During times of uncertainty, it's comforting to know we have a healthcare system in our community that's been committed to supporting us for well over a century. In this current time, we are standing together, and our bond is stronger than ever. KDMC, caring for our community like no one else can.
Coach, you decided to go with Ednar, and right out of the gate, he gives up the home run there. Obviously, it's a long ball game, but how do you think he performed, and how do you think he kind of overcame that first inning home run?
I thought he was really good. The guy hit a good pitch in the first, hung and slider to the one guy, hit the ball out to left. I thought he was really good today. I gave him the shirt after the game just because I thought it was competitive. Just being able to take the ball, throw 120 pitches, give us a great chance to win. Those guys are good. We knew we were matching up with a really good offensive team and a team that could hit the ball out of the ballpark. And I thought that was maybe some of his better stuff that he's had in his career. They just hit a couple pitches.
We'll go to Joe Coleman next. Joel, go ahead.
Chris was asking Luke about this, but you guys last week in Hoover kind of struggled to piece things together offensively. Then today you come out and up and down the lineup, and 5 or 6 of the 8 innings you come to the plate, you're piecing things together and scoring and only striking out 3 times. How good was that to see that this offense kind of up and down the lineup is producing?
Yeah, I thought guys were great today. I thought we did a great job with situational hitting, moving a runner, getting a runner in. Just making things happen and having quality at bats. We didn't get too big because sometimes in this opening game of a tournament, everybody's trying to swing a little too hard and do some things. And our approach was just to stay on balls, make them make plays. And I thought our guys did a great job with that. We had a couple guys that had, Rowdy, Luke, Kellum, Brad, I thought. They all 4 of those guys had big days at the park.
Tyler Harka, go ahead and jump on in there.
Yeah, Chris, going back to Will, because of him, you only need to get 29 pitches out of 2 different relief pitchers. I'm sure when you give Will the ball, that's exactly what you were looking for, given the structure of a regional. Just how big is that he was able to go so long, and you've basically got your whole entire bullpen to work with from here going forward?
It was big, and we got 2 guys out there in a regional atmosphere. Preston got to get out there and get his feet wet. He hadn't been out there in about 10, 12 days, and also Stone. Now that they've been out there and pitched, and they'll be available tomorrow, and we should have full bullpen. So it looks like we should have everybody available. I thought that was a big piece on Will, and that decision to go back out in the when you look up and we're up 8-3, it wasn't a big decision, but at the time we weren't 8-3 when he ran back out there. So him taking the ball was huge.
We'll go back to Steve. Steve.
Coach Will, you mentioned him kind of working up in his own and giving up a couple home runs. Is that just going to kind of be the book on him because of where he likes to live in his own? He wants to challenge hitters up, and occasionally somebody's going to catch up with one?
Actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the fastball to start was down and away, and then they hit a slider on the one. He made a bad pitch on the slider. The slider was a bad pitch. He left it over the plate. But we try to, right now with spin rate and everything, you're trying to pitch in the top half of the zone. So he usually doesn't give up the homer there. It's when he leaves it over the plate. So, but he'll give up some. He's a power pitcher, and as long as we're not giving up 3-run home runs, the solo home run doesn't kill you usually. And that's what their offense was built for. This is, a pretty offensive regional with the offenses that we have here. So those guys are swinging, and they're swinging for the home run most of the time.
Just a reminder, go ahead and use that raise your hand function if you've got questions. We'll go to Robbie and then Joel. Robbie, go ahead.
Coach, Luke's batting average isn't just through the roof, but he doesn't strike out, and it seems like every time he gets up to the plate and there's runners on, he does exactly what you need him to do. What's made him so good at that this season, do you think?
He's like that, his whole career. I remember putting him in our lineup in 19. He sees a lot of pitches. He grinds out a lot of pitches. He doesn't swing out of the zone. And he doesn't really change with the moment. If it's a big moment, he stays relaxed. He makes somebody give him a good pitch. And usually, a lot of times pitchers fall behind and he gets a good pitch to hit and doesn't try to do too much. I thought he was really good. That 2-out single he had was really a breather for us to be able to run out there and play that game today.
And also, at first base, he hasn't hurt you. And, Josh Hatcher struggled a little bit, but he's moved in there at first base and just hadn't hurt you there. How big has that been?
It's been huge. It's huge. And we have, then Hatch runs out there in the 8th or 9th and makes a couple nice plays. So we have a good combination, and they're both good athletes and good players. And he's playing a good first base. He's been fine.
Time for a few more. We'll go to Joel Coleman.
Chris, we might beat this topic to death a little bit, but you come out here, this is the first postseason game at Duty Noble since Mac and Jake's big ninth inning a couple years ago. Did you get a moment today to kind of, after missing out on this opportunity last year, to kind of walk out on Duty Noble and look around and kind of soak it in and I guess that's, don't know what you got till it's gone kind of thing and just kind of enjoy it for a minute?
Well, I told our guys you never get to enjoy it, unfortunately. That's the hard part until the regional's over. But for some reason, I was up at 5 and I was in my office about 6:25 this morning, and like I told our players before the game, I haven't been this excited for a game in a long time. Just excited to play, to be in the postseason, and I told our kids this is where our program belongs. So it's just fun to be back out there in this type of atmosphere. When you hear the music, they play that little NCAA song, it's a fun time of year, and I've really challenged our kids to be able to enjoy this, to have fun and enjoy this time.
Steve?
Pitching plans for tomorrow, are you pretty much locked in there regardless of opponent, or will you kind of take a look and see and kind of how you want to scheme that up?
We're McLeod. McLeod's throwing tomorrow. So we feel like we have two number ones. Christian's pitching that spot because Will had the injury all year, getting him back in, but we feel like we have two number ones. We went with Will today because he was the matchup for the all right-handed lineup, and every scouting report we had said sliders, and so Will's got one of the better sliders out there. So Christian will pitch tomorrow, and doesn't matter who we're playing.
We'll go to Courtney Robb. Courtney?
Coach, what did you see from your guys today that you would like to continue to see them do through the remainder of the weekend?
They weren't cool, but they were just loose today. They were ready to play. They were ready to get after it. They accepted the challenge, I guess. From the minute we got there, I like the vibe. Our coaches kept saying that. We like the vibe. Everybody's in good spirits and bouncing around, and we got a really good start. So it's when you're up 4-1 and you're getting to play and you got that type of crowd behind you, it's a lot of fun.
We'll wrap it up with Theo. Theo, wrap us up.
Coach, when you have an early game in something like this, what are you looking for when you watch the late game between VCU and Campbell? What specific things are you hoping to see?
We're just trying to figure it all out. I mean, we really haven't seen these guys play a lot, and to be honest with you, we haven't scouted them yet. So we had all our scouting on Samford. We got reports and we got everything, but we'll sit and watch this game. We'll watch in and out. We'll watch the game, and then all day tomorrow we'll build scouting reports and watch game film and try to figure everything out. So, a lot of times you have a team you've played or been in your conference or something, but right now, we haven't seen VCU or Campbell play. So we'll have all our eyes on it tonight.
Will, I'm speaking of leadoff. Very first pitch of the ball game leaves the yard. I mean, so obviously it's a long ball game. When that happens, though, is that kind of your hey, welcome to the tournament moment? How did you respond?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a little bit of a shock to have the first pitch you throw in the regional to be a home run, but I thought it was as good of a pitch as I could have made, but he just did a great job, smoking that ball. So give him credit. I got to tip my hat to him.
Now you're muted.
Tyler Orca?
Yeah, well, it seemed like late there they got either a leadoff guy on or they hit another home run, but it seemed like every time they were trying to get to it, you were able to string some outs together and get out of innings and then come out for another one. What was it like for you late there when you're going through that, and kind of what did you channel to keep coming out and extend your outing as long as you did?
Just trying to trust my defense, just doing whatever I can to get outs. It doesn't always have to be strikeouts, but I got a great defense playing behind me, so I could just let them do some work too.
Next up, we'll go to Theo DeRosa. Theo, hop on in there.
Well, being able to go 7, how important was that just in terms of saving the bullpen and preserving that for the rest of the weekend?
Definitely pretty big. I'm really happy I could do that for us and kind of eat up as many innings as I could, just to kind of save us for next few days.
Next up, we'll go to Robbie Folk. Robbie?
Well, it's always a big hot topic before getting into regionals. Who do you pitch in game 1? And Coach went with you. What do you think went into that decision? And also, when did you find out about that?
I knew about that at the beginning of this week. So we kind of just modeled my throwing routine off of what I'd usually do if I were to start Friday and kind of just model my routine off that. I think it was pretty much all matchup. We got a ton of great guys. So I think them having a lot of righties, it was better for me to go than for Christian. But I feel like either way we would have been fine.
In a follow-up, if you don't mind, this season it just seems like anytime somebody's barreling you up or you give up a couple of hits, maybe a home run, it just seems like you're able to bear down and not let that snowball. What's your mindset out there if you give up a home run or if you give up guys on base? How do you feel like you handle that?
Home runs, try to flush it, just forget about it and focus on the next pitch. And with guys on base, I try to be at my best, or even better than my best, just to try to prevent more runs from scoring.
Joel Coleman, you're up next.
Well, you guys obviously got this opportunity to possibly host a postseason taken away from you last year, so this is your first chance to be here at Mississippi State on Dudy Noble Field in a regional environment. I guess two-part question, just what was it like to be out there, and just what's the feel when you're on the mound at Dudy Noble Field in this kind of environment?
Oh, it's electric. There's no place like Dudy Noble. Growing up, I was never playing in front of big crowds, so coming here and playing in front of 10,000, 15,000 people is incredible. There's nothing like it.
David Murray?
I don't know if you go back to the fifth inning, but after the home run, you've got a couple of guys on base. Coach Foxall comes out and gives a little chat there when DeChera takes a swing that he was just trying to murder the ball. What did you come back with him on that high fastball to strike him out?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, there in the fifth inning when you've got the tying runs on base and DeChera comes up, they come out and have a little chat with you, and you come back and throw a high strike fastball. How are you attacking the DeChera?
Just attacking high. He kind of looked a little slow in that first one. So we went back to it, and I made a good pitch, and he swung and missed.
We'll do the two in the queue to wrap it up for Will. We'll go to Steve and then Courtney. Steve, go ahead.
Well, obviously it's good to get the first one in. So, is there anything that you share with some of the other guys on the staff now that you've been out here? I mean, maybe to kind of let them know, hey, it's just another ball game, or to kind of prepare them. You mentioned the atmosphere itself, but this is not a typical weekend for you guys. So, what can you kind of share with them to kind of prepare them for the mental grind of the rest of the weekend?
Most of the guys know just to compete no matter what the situation is. We've had some pretty big crowds like this before, like the Ole Miss weekend. So a lot of the guys have pitched in atmospheres like this. I have no worries about them not competing and not doing what they do.
Courtney, go ahead and wrap us up.
Sorry, my camera's not working for some reason, but Will, a lot of people were kind of shocked, I think, to see you heading into the seventh inning. How comfortable were you at that point to go back in and help your team?
After the sixth, Coach Fox came up to me and asked if I was good to go, and I said, yeah. So, I was going out there and doing whatever I could.
Luke, it just seems like every time you come up and there's somebody on base, you deliver whatever the team needs, sack, fly, ground ball, the right side, whatever. You did it with a couple of big hits tonight. Just what's your approach when you get up there and you see guys on base?
Just try to do whatever I can for the team. Like you say, whether it's a sack fly, getting somebody over. I just try to hit the ball hard, and luckily today the ball was finding some holes for me.
We'll go to Steve Robertson next. Steve, hop on in there.
Look, the double steal there, Foxhall comes out there, sets the defense there. What did he tell you guys? I mean, was it something you guys picked up? It seemed like it was almost a perfect situation for a mound visit.
Well, we didn't even go up there to Coach Fox. It was just him, Bednar, and LT up there talking. They were talking about the hitter. We kind of had an idea. We've been working on it in practice this week. We kind of had an idea that they might do something there, and didn't get it out. But we'll come back to the very next pitch and struck the guy out. So that was huge for us.
And there's been a couple times this year. I mean, you guys have put that on film that hadn't played that well and given up a run. So how big is it to kind of snuff that out? And even though you didn't get it out, you didn't give up a run.
I think it's big. Teams see that. Teams see that sometimes we take the out or whatever we might do. And it was big that we didn't give up any more runs because I think we was up by 2 right there. And but yeah, it was big.
We'll swing it over to Joel Coleman next. Joel, hop on in there.
Look, you guys last week in Hoover, of course, kind of struggled offensively and things, and today you come out and it was like you guys were just piecing things together. I think, scoring five or six of the 8 innings that you come to the plate and just finding ways to score. Just how fulfilling is that after the offensive struggles of last week to be able to come out, only strike out 3 times in the game and piece things together inning by inning?
It was big for us. We had people move runners over. Lane hit a sac fly for us, so it was big for us. We today at the plate, I think we played a really clean game of baseball, and we just have to carry that over into the next couple of days.
We'll go to Theo next. Theo, jump on in.
Luke, having guys like Brad Cumbas and Kelvin Clark get those doubles, how much does that say about the strength of your lineup 1 through 9 that you can have anybody pretty much hit for power, get on base?
It's big for us. I think to win 1 through 9 has to everybody has to produce, and whether it's being getting somebody over, hitting a sac fly, and Kellen's a great player. I think he showed that over the past couple of weeks. He's continued to get better and better, and glad he's hot right now.
Got time for a couple more for Luke before we get Coach Lemonis in there. Robbie, go ahead.
Luke, you had to come out of the game in Hoover. I think you got hit on that elbow with that pitch. How much work did you get in this last week? Did you get a full week work in?
Yes, sir. I was after them 2 off days that we had. I was back in there. It was still a little sore, but I'm good now. Everything's back to 100%. And but yeah, I had a full week of practice, so that was big for me.
We'll go to Steve to wrap it up. Steve, go ahead.
Look, I want to ask you about Kellum. You mentioned him about what a great player. When he hits the baseball, it just kind of sounds different coming off the bat. I mean, and I know, we're up here, so you guys are down there. What do you see from him at the plate? I mean, it seems like the one he hit out to right field today, I thought it was going to take the guy's glove off. I mean, does he routinely do this stuff in practice? Are you surprised that he's hitting the ball as well as he is?
Oh, no, I'm not surprised at all. He just has a different presence for him in the box, especially to be a freshman. The presence that he has in the box is really good, and I think he showed that over the past couple weeks. And but yeah, he's going to be really great for us and really going to help us in these next couple weeks, hopefully.